Okay guys, now it's time to review World of Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy RPG series has been going strong since 1987, and while the main games have become more mature, this spin-off, World of Final Fantasy, aims to reboot the franchise for a younger audience.
Yeah, and it's definitely got a bit of a Kingdom Hearts feel to it, doesn't it?
Affirmative. You play as Lan and his sister, Rain, who find themselves drawn into the world of Grimoire, where they find they have the ability to fight and capture creatures called Mirages. Gotta catch 'em all, I suppose.
Yeah, this game is kind of a blend of classic Final Fantasy with a bit of a creature collectathon. But guys, the story is a bit of a baffling mess.
They share the same name. That doesn't automatically have to mean they're the same person.
The cutscenes are vague and confusing, and all your instruction comes from this magical fox, Tama, who talks in a confusing way.
With the help of a mirage of the two, there's nothing that you can't accomplish.
And that makes it even harder to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's a bit like Jar Jar Binks or something. Not as annoying though. I also found the game throws a lot of lingo-heavy tutorials at you early on, which slows things down and makes it hard to get into the game. I just feel like the whole first hour could have been better at just easing me into the game.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, you're not really given a strong or clear enough motivation for why you need to go on this adventure. So I was resigned to just sort of hoping things would become clearer as time went on.
Apparently, we've met the three of you before, although we don't remember it.
You do not remember us?
And more characters with amnesia, Goose.
Oh, I know, Hex. I mean, I've almost forgotten how many characters I've met with amnesia.
Nice one. To make things even stranger, there's a jarring clash of art styles going on. As Lan and Rain, you have the ability to get around in either your true human form or as tiny lillikins. And this plays into the combat, as you can select mirages to literally stack on top of you, or if you're in Lillican form, you can ride them. The mirages you're stacked with then join you in combat, allowing you to use their magic spells or physical attacks.
And I found this stacking mechanic quite difficult to get my head around, but it was interesting. While stacked, you have a larger pool of health points and a stronger defense, but it's possible to get toppled by certain attacks, leaving you way more vulnerable.
Yeah, but if you're unstacked, each one of those characters gets their own individual attack, and that can be useful in some situations. It adds a bit of strategic depth to that typical turn-based Final Fantasy combat. Especially as you're always leveling up your mirages and customizing their abilities on what's called the Mirage board. I was constantly changing my mind over which mirages to stack with me because they all have the different strengths and weaknesses.
And some of the special attacks you can do with them are pretty cool.
See how you like this.
Plus, just like in old Final Fantasy games, you can summon a powerful champion to attack when you're up against a really tough foe.
Whoa! Outside of combat, mirages in your party can give you special access to certain areas, thanks to their abilities, such as flying you over a gap or melting blocks of ice with fire magic. You'll often be tempted to return to earlier parts of the world you couldn't previously access once you've captured the right mirage to help you.
Yeah, but I could never really get the hang of when a mirage was vulnerable to capture. Even when they were flashing to show they were wounded, they would often just shrug off my attempt. I just wish it was a little bit clearer when a capture might fail, because that's one whole wasted turn in combat.
Well, we should wrap this up. What are your thoughts overall, Hex?
Well, I thought I would grow to love World of Final Fantasy the more I stuck with it.
Mirage Keepers? Me and Rain?
That's the correct. The marks on your arms are proof. You were born to work the miracles.
But to be honest, I never became more than just mildly interested by these characters or the world. I think the combat is easily the best thing about this game. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I agree. I love the design of that combat, and some of the mirages are really imaginative, but overall this does feel like a weak entry into the Final Fantasy series, so I'm giving it 2.5 rubber chickens as well.